Welcome to this course. We're looking at the System Security Certified Practitioners, the SSCP certification by ISC Squared. Here we're looking at the Official Study Guide, 2nd edition, ISB number 9781119542940. I wanted to first point out that these PowerPoint slides are owned and copyrighted by Wiley Text, as it is part of this textbook. These videos are just a run through of core concepts throughout this text. Thank you. Lesson 1, being a SSCP. So what is an SSCP? An SSCP is System Security Certified Professional. And how we break that down is the systems are going to be both informational systems or IT. So IS and IT, that's going to be the software portion, hardware portion, infrastructure portion, server portion, networking portion, all kind of rolled into one. The security aspect is going to be understanding the technology and information requirements to be able to secure them appropriately. And again, that means safely securing all IS and IT systems, making sure that those systems are also reliable, and lastly, ensuring integrity. Again, integrity is going to be one of those core concepts that means no one's allowed to modify without authorization or without permission, and any modification is going to be verified before it is actually committed. So if we look at something and it has been modified but not verified, that integrity is no longer valid. We have to be able to trust what is there. The certified portion, the C, is going to demonstrate the professional's ability and experience, in his knowledge, in their skills, and in their overall understanding of core principles of security in the IS and IT realm. How is this done? It is done through an examination. Normally a multiple choice, drag and drop, and sometimes simulation-based examination. But it is verified that the individual that has this specific certification actually is at a base level of understanding in this realm. What does it mean for professional? What does the P stand for? That professional aspect means they're ethical. They understand the legal ramifications of, one, what that entails, what securing the system and IT requirements actually entail, the legal aspect of cybersecurity, the legal aspect of security, and that there is a community expectation. And that is going to be that each person that has this certification has a base level of understanding of how they should act. Meaning they understand that there's an ethical standard. There's a legal standard. There are not lines that should be crossed when we're talking about security when one has this level of certification. So essentially, when we talk security, we like to talk about these white hats. White hats are typically the security experts that are on the good side, the legal side. They have very specific guidelines that keep their legality in line. And what I mean by legality is they follow the laws. They follow them to a T. That means there is no crossing lines regardless of why. That is not a white hat. So why become a white hat? Why become a security professional? So that you can defend our information, we can defend our infrastructure, our data networks, our economy. There are some interesting perks is you definitely become more in depth with your troubleshooting ability. You have to start looking at problems from multiple avenues to figure out pathways through them and just be able to navigate around them. One thing that you'll never stop is you're always going to be learning, you're always going to be growing. Also, because SSCP is a very common security standard, this is one that sets the bar for entry-level, mid-tier level IT security professionals in the ISC realm. So the roadmap, how do we use this study guide effectively? So there are 4 main ways for the study guide to be broken up. Part 1 is why the businesses need these security professionals, why understand the security foundation. Part 2 is managing the risk for information systems and technology. Part 3 is going to be mitigation technologies, understanding risk layer by layer. Part 4 is going to be the survival to operate. That's going to be the people power, the planning, responding, and what to do, how to recover, how to survive so that you can operate. And that's going to include threats that may prevent organizations from operating. So let's go beyond this book. There are things that are happening real world that aren't always discussed, and that is going to be regulations and basic best practices. There are things like the NIST standards, the US CERT standards. These are standards that are out there for us to use. We have common vulnerability index and common vulnerability sites that allow us to look at what current vulnerabilities are out there, what exploits are out there. That way we can start seeing what's common and we can start protecting against them. One of the nice things is this book, this certification, actually allows us to have a base level of knowledge using the Common Book of Knowledge for security practitioners. That allows us to practice and explore, and in a certain way experiment ethically so that we can understand the logic behind how an attacker, how a hacker, how a malicious individual may gain access to our systems, with the goal of staying legal and staying safe. Throughout the text, there are several self-assessments and reviews to ensure that you have a base level of understanding that allows us to implement the practice and explore. So again, that self-assessment allows us to grow our knowledge, our skills. That's the ability to apply what we're learning, and it keeps our aptitude and our attitude fairly high. It allows us to keep growing in this realm. Keep in mind that certification is just one aspect. While certification may open some doors, more often than not, it's actually about being able to understand new concepts and to apply those new concepts. That allows us to grow. If you have any questions or concerns, please reach out. Thank you.